Yo, what's up? It's your man Munea here for the weekly trade setup for the January 15th till the 19th, 2018. Let's get started. Before I get started, I've got a small disclaimer for you guys to read. I've just popped it up on the screen now. So if you want to pause the video and read this, then I'll continue on from there. Okay, I hope you've read that, and I'm going to get started with this week's setup. Okay, talking about last week, the market was about here. Let me just get a pen out. I hope you guys took that opportunity, listened to what I said, and made a lot of money, man. Because I tell you one thing, the setup for last week was awesome. They all came to the key area and done exactly what I told you guys is going to happen. It doesn't really happen all the time, but majority of the time when it does come up, that's the time, game is over, mate. So if you look into this area, market was about here, consolidating around this area. And I did say the market's going to push down. And once it pushes down, it's going to push back up. But we didn't really get price action signal on the daily chart. But then again, it does not mean that you did not get a price action signal. If you actually go into the smaller time frames, the 4-hour time frames, so the market was above here, it pushed down, come to around this area. Let me just zoom in and I'll show you one of the strategy that I explained last time as well. There's one simple strategy here. I'm just gonna quickly draw that out for you. Just box it out for you. Could you see that pin bar before the market shot up there? That's called that's a nice pin bar at the key level. And I did predict that that was the level right here. Anywhere around here you get it, you get in straight away. But I'm not talking about that. Just before that, there was actually quite a few. There was a false break up, false breakdown. That's sort of like a fakie. But I'm looking at a setup that was done right below here. And I'll exactly explain to you exactly what the actual setup is as well. So you learn along the way as well. And I'll tell you exactly what we're predicting for the next market to do as well. So let me just show you right here. 1 second. Get the pen out. Free drawing. So this bar right here is considered as a mother bar. A mother bar is when a bar is formed and the next bar after it is within the mother bar, high and low. So if you look at the low of that and the high of that, could you see the next bar was actually formed within? Let me just try to zoom in a little bit more so you can see a bit more clearly. So I'm talking about this bar here. Could you see right here? If I put it in the low there and the high there, that is the inside bar of this bar right here. So that's called a mother bar inside bar formation signal. And once it breaks the high of that, stop loss placed just below the mother bar low, and you let it run. Aim for your 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, even 1 to 5. Because once that broke that about here, stop loss is about 35 pips, and it went all the way up to 275. You easily catch your 1 to 5 there nicely. So what are we looking for? This is the Euro USD daily chart, by the way. So what we're looking for in this week, I've actually analyzed it and drew it out so I could save a lot of time and try to keep this video short as possible and run through as many charts as possible that I see potential coming up for this week. Once the market pushed down here, I'll just get a pen out and show what happened here. So market was playing around there, pushed down towards there. That's the high there, that's the low there. 4-hour chart gave a signal, pushed it up back towards the high and actually broke it and went back up. So that's showing me that I don't know how much up is going to go. So we need to wait and see how much up it goes. But if this is the highest, what we're actually waiting for right now, as this has become the new key area, near-term support. It was a resistance. It's broken it. Now we want to see a retest in this area. Let me just get the pen out. So it's broken that. If price carries on moving a little bit up, we wanted to see it come back down towards this area, and we want to look for a buy signal at this key level. We want to see a buy signal at this key level because I'm still in a bullish mode in this as price is moving up. Not only that, I've got other confirmation which I'm going to show you right now as well. If I go into the higher time frame, because I start from the higher time frame, the monthly is actually showing me, if I zoom in, a continuation pin bar just over there. If you can see that, that's a pin bar continuation. That price is going to keep moving up. So weekly is pushed up. We're waiting for, depending on how high it goes, we want it to come back to this area, and then we'll buy. So we're in a buy around this area. I don't think I'll need this no more right here. What I'll do with this is, not that. Let me just put that around there. Smaller that a bit. So around that area. I'll keep that on and keep an eye on this one. Once it comes here, then we could look for a buy signal in a smaller 4-hour or a 1-hour time frame. 1 hour is a bit more riskier. You want to see a nice clear-cut price action, a big massive pin bar sort of like that sticks out and tells you, yes, I want to go back down or I want to go back up from here. So you want something similar to that facing the other way for a buy in a 1 hour. 4 hour, a pin bar, a mother bar, inside bar, or a fakie, which I'll explain. A fakie is basically a mother bar, inside bar, a false break downwards and closes back within the mother bar, and then break of the high of the mother bar, and it goes back up as well. For many beginners, it's going to be quite confusing, so stick with me. And it's not hard anyway. But if you're a beginner, stick to the pin bars or either a mother bar, inside bar, like I explained in my last week video. But this week, waiting for it to come in this area in the 4 hour, in the daily chart. And once it comes in that area, then you could look for signals in the smaller time frames. I do not recommend to go any lower than the 1 hour chart. Even I myself don't really go into the 1 hour chart unless I really have to. But I stick to the 4 hour chart, the lowest. But sometimes I go to the 1 hour chart. So that's for the Euro USD setup. Moving on to the next chart. Next chart is the GBP USD. Daily chart is made a pin bar. If you zoom in there, at that key level, right back there, at that key level. The reason I did not take it because the body was a bit too big. I normally say the body has to be 30% of the size of the actual wick. 70% have to be the wick and the 30% have to be the bar. But it still, works. A pin bar like this still works. The higher time frames showed continuations, and it probably will be showing continuation. We're aiming for that high there. The near term resistance that's up there. Look at the monthly chart. Around that area. Around this area. But I would actually say that is a more better spot, as I've drawn it before, analyze it. But around that area is a good, keep buying towards that area anyway. Just wait for pullbacks and keep buying. So what I want to see now is, let me just draw, around this area around here. I would want to see the market pull back, same as Euro USD, around this area. I'm going to draw it a little bit higher. Around this area, and look for a signal and buy from here. Depending on how high the market's going to go. Sometimes you need to realize when the market pulls higher, it gets higher, faster and higher like this, it gives a shorter retracement back. Sometimes it might not reach to that area, but if the daily price shows it anywhere around here, even above that in the daily chart, and there's a clear cut showing to you that it wants to go more up as well, you still could get in and buy. It's a little bit more riskier, but if it's a clear cut, then I don't see why not. But it's definitely an uptrend until I don't see a clear cut reversal. Then I'll hold back, let the lows break, then continue on from there. So buy from around here, this area, about the 1.3 60, 136018. That's where I've got my key level, but anywhere around here till the 13630, around that area. Moving on to the AUD USD. This one's a little tricky. This one I was actually looking at is a little tricky. I could see in the monthly chart that it's going up. It's been going up. It's got this pulls back. It's done its pullback and it started to move up. I'm actually aiming for the next monthly key resistance. It looks quite close, but it's actually about 180, 200 pips. So it's definitely moving up towards there, but I would not buy from the middle. That's the weekly chart there. Daily chart, I would actually want to see either go back up. Let me show you exactly what I'm actually looking for around here. The market could push up. If it pushes any more higher, then I would want to see a pullback around this area here. But if it starts turning back from, let me just clear that out. So if it starts just coming back from where it is around here, a little bit up, and it starts coming back, this is the area I want to buy into. But if it pushes higher, then you're looking at the next area around that little area here, depending on how much higher it goes around here, or even around this area. Does that make sense? So if it carries on pushing up towards here, you don't buy, you wait. You need to be a patient trader. You wait till it pulls back and you trade with the trend. Remember, you probably heard it so many times, trade with the trend is your friend. A lot of people who try to look for reversal at key levels, every key level that comes, they're looking for reversal, and it doesn't really give their 1 to 2 minimum. You know, they lose out a lot of money. We don't want to look for reversals while the price is moving in a nice uptrend. We want to trade with the trend. And now the price have pushed up. I wouldn't buy from here because it could give a nice pullback to here. Then you'll probably go on a loss depending on where your stop loss is, unless you want to keep a massive stop loss. But price will be heading towards there. But you just have to wait for the pullbacks, price action signals within the smaller time frames, pull back up again. So that's what I'm looking for here. I'm just looking for buys here, no sells for me. If you're more of an aggressive trader, then you could kind of do intraday 1 hour chart pullbacks. If you go into the 1 hour chart, you can see a pin bar formed here. You could just pull it back towards around these small areas, or even towards here. Catch a few pips here and there. But I'm not an aggressive trader. I'm more of a patient and a safe trader. I'll wait for those high setups and let it ride on. So that's the AUD USD setup. Now moving on to the next one, I've got a USD JPY. Let me just check that. I've got one potential. Let me see the lows of that. That could what I'm actually waiting for is rejecting that area. Let me just look into the higher time frames. The higher time frame makes a bit more sense. It's to me, it's looking like a downtrend, as you can see from here. It's done its pull up again. Let me just check out the fibs. High to the low. That's come to the 61. Definitely going down. To me, I'm more for downside on this one. It's more of a sell. So what I'm looking for, let me just see if there's any price action showing. Yep, a mother bar, inside bar. A break of that will lead down towards that potential there. So if I go back into the daily chart, I've got a few setups because I don't look at the chart in one way as well. I look at it in different ways. So what I'm looking for at the moment is a pull up, price action to sell around here, and I want to ride it down. But then again, if it carries on breaking down now, which I've seen it happen, pull up to this area, then I want to sell around this key level around here, depending on how much more is going to go down. But it's most likely going to be probably a pull up and a sell, if that makes sense. But now, let me just show you. Sometime, depending on what price is doing, if this support holds this level here, it could kind of push the market back up to at least around these highs around here. These highs. So we don't buy from here. What I actually wait for is market to push up around this area, whether it goes up, you know, like that. I'll wait for a pullback around this area and I'll buy towards there. If you're 1 to 2 is there minimum, then that's a good trade to take. But if that happens, I'm looking more into the downside. I'm looking at more of going down and we're aiming for this area, if that makes sense. It's showing few rejections here already. It can give a little pullback before dropping down and breaking that, but I'll just wait and see where it pulls back to. Look into the smaller time frames. I've seen that pullback there, and it could break that and then retest this as well. Let's see how that market moves, and if that potential, any of those setups come, I'm gonna be in. If you want to get in, you know, you can get in as well, but do not, you know, do not. I'm not gonna tell you do not. What I'm saying is, I wouldn't personally buy small little intraday charts to the pullbacks. I'll wait and trade with the trend, if that makes sense. Moving on to the next chart, Euro JPY. I was actually looking at that, and I'm actually more of a bullish on this one, an uptrend. Obviously, if you look with the naked eye from the left to right, it's just going up, 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 up. A consolidation. Let me just check if that was a 5 Elliott wave. Let me just get a pen out. It can be. Sometimes it does more than 5 anyway, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Consolidation. Or you could consider this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in a bigger time. That's a 5 Elliott. What that shows is that when you get a consolidation and a break of a high, could you see it broke, retested with a pin bar, inside bar, and it pushed the market up. Now that gave a bigger pullback. What I'm thinking is, that's definitely an uptrend on my side. Aiming for that high. Let me just see the higher time frames. Going into the monthly. Okay, there was a reason why I made that as well. I could see a nice continuation pin bar. A consolidation was there. Back then, there was a few consolidation. I could see more of it pushing up towards at least around this side. It's showing me continuation. Let me just check out the... Okay. We can get a 50% pullback of that pin bar. You can get a pullback and then back up again. So what I'm thinking, what might happen is definitely an uptrend. But what I would look in the market, normally what I would say is wait for the pullback around this area. If you see a price action, buy it. Aim for the high if you want to choose there. But I think, in my prediction, there's a possibility and a very high chance of this being broken. And once that breaks, you could wait for a pullback and then carry on buying from here. So it's got quite a little while to go as well. On the other hand, if this does turn around, I wouldn't sell from around here. I'll wait till a break of that, retest, then sell off that as well. But I don't see it going down. I'm more of the bullish side on this one. Definitely an uptrend. Wait for that little pullback towards the dynamic support. I'll actually make a line around that area. It kind of makes sense as well. Around this area. I'll keep that marked and I'll see what happens. Probably a buy if I get a nice price action signal in the 4-hour chart. Depending on how high it could go. It could go up here, pull back around this area, then shoot back up again. So okay. So I'll definitely keep that marked up and I'll keep an eye on that as well. Let me just go back to the daily chart, make sure I'm definitely on a uptrend on that. That pin bar does sometimes scare me, but I'll be honest with you. It's not really sticking out to me. It did give a good pullback with that small pin bar there. But the way I'm looking at it is this. A pin bar against the trend is weak. But anyone who got into that pin bar for a drop down because of some major news. I don't follow the news. I'm more for technical analysis. I've been doing technical for the last 8 years. Definitely uptrend around this. Carry on buying towards the high of that. So if it comes, just say to the highest point, you got about 180 pips. Worst case scenario. But I definitely think it's gonna break that. And if it does break that, it's got a long way to go as well. So moving on to the next chart. Try to keep it short, quick, simple. Is the GBP JPY. showing me continuation uptrends. Long way to go from here as well. Weekly, definitely another pin bar. It's the same as any other JPY so far. Wait for a pullback around. I'll just make the key level if you follow it. Around there, and I see another one about the high of that. We rejected here and there. So if you look at the smaller time frames, makes sense. Break it, retest, up. So yeah, looking back at the daily chart, I'll make a around this area. Look for a nice buy depending on how high it's going to go, but it's definitely going a long way if it breaks the high of that, which it does look like to me. Following the markets for quite a long time, it does seem like there's a very high chances of it breaking high with the JPYs. Next setup is the USD CAD. Pin bar in the monthly chart. Looks, if that pin bar is valid, looks like it could push the market up. But I really need to figure out if that's a bigger pin bar. But let me just use my fibs. Okay, 50 to 61, between 50 and 61, push back down. I would in the higher time frame call that a nice reversal. Let me just try to zoom out and just see the bigger picture. Okay, what I could see is, if I see the bigger picture from the high to the low, from the high to the low, okay, the body was about 77, 786, a nice pin bar as a reversal. It's definitely coming down. It's showing down. That's going to probably hold the trend line. That pin bar was a short push up. Okay, I'm more of a downtrend on this one for the weekly. Yep, it's showing downtrend. It's trying to make lower lows, consolidation, break of that. Weekly ones already shown a pin bar rejecting the dynamic and near the key area around there and there, definitely going down. So in the daily, what I'm looking for is it's pushing down, but what I want to really see is, just to be on the safe side, is price to push back up to this area around here, around that area there, and find a price action signal around here for a sell. Aim for that low, and if it breaks that, it's going to go down, and I think it will break that as well. Definitely a downtrend. What I'm going to do now is, let me just zoom out. If I zoom out, I could see consolidation, break of the low. Definitely want to retest that area. What I'll do, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this one, but around that area. If it comes towards that area, it's a nice sell if I get a price action showing me. If it breaks above that, retests that, then it's going up. And that's the way I sort of like analyze the charts and aim for the highs of that. But I could see it going down. I could just definitely see it going down. Let's see how it goes anyway for this week. On this chart, New Zealand USD. This one's, I see the monthly going up. It's been going up for the last 2 months. It's definitely aiming for the high of that. Pin bar, pull back, come back up again. Okay, I think I know what I'm waiting for here. Very simple. Let me just get a pen out so I could just draw it out for you guys. What I'm looking for, I see a pin bar. That pin bar could push the market a bit more higher, but it can turn around as well. But I want to actually see the market pull back to this area or around this area, so we could find a price action to buy and aiming for the highs of that. Or if you're a bit more on the safe side, then I would actually consider the high of that. But you still got quite a little while to go as well. Let's see how that market goes, how high it goes. We're waiting for those pullbacks. It's not, because it's a strong pushing up, you know, the market's pushing up strongly, you're getting smaller retracements. Could you see the smaller retracements? Smaller, you're not getting a, you know, like a deeper or a more deeper retracements in a high, fast moving market upwards. So that's the sort of way, could you see, it's kind of, so we might not even get the price to come there, depending on how high it goes, and depends how slow it comes down. If it comes down slower, then there's a chance of it to come in this area, and we look for a price action buy. Let me just try to see the bigger picture here. Okay, definitely an uptrend for me, and that's showing me continuation bars as well. So let's see how that market goes. If it does do what I'm planning and predicting, then I'm definitely getting in, and it's a great, you know, high probable trade to get in as well. The time it goes up and pulls back, the dynamic support and resistance from the EMA should come lining with that as well. But definitely just put that around there. That's sort of like my buy area around there. Moving on to the next charts. Let me just USD CHF. Let me just see what it's doing. That's, you know what, that's a pure consolidation. That's the sort of trend line I could see. At the moment it's coming down, and it could come down towards these lows there. These lows there. Let me just make a support line there. It's kind of breaking it. EMAs are crossing as well. It's crossed there. It's crossing in the weekly. Okay. Seen this happen so many times as well. It's a bit of a tough market this is as well. What I'm waiting for is, let it come a bit more down. Sorry, let me just change that pen. Let me just market come a bit more down, pull back up into this area, and sell from there. That's what I'm looking for. More aggressive traders could buy towards there, but how low will it go? We don't know yet. This is why I don't buy, because you could start seeing it go back. Because it's a strong moving market, it could go back to about 38%, depending on how low it goes. 38.2% retracement. So yeah, definitely a sell on to that one. Euro AUD, the next one. I'm not really analyzed this yet. Just try and think. Euro AUD. Let me just. Monthly chart showing me it's uptrend heading towards there. So I just drew some sort of lines there. Let me just see what that line is doing. That's around there. I've seen a lot of rejections, so that's more of a, this is a bit of a risky one, because you got one and kind of rejected in that area. It's come back up that area, but it's giving me a pin bar. I think it might want to break it. This one's a little risky. Let me just see what that could be going back down as well. Sometimes I can see it's like going up. Let me just see a bit of retracement. Sometime when I see a chart that I don't really understand, I do kind of sit back and just keep an eye on it to see what exactly it's going to do. But I've seen that come to the 50. It's looking like a downtrend. It's definitely looking like a downtrend to me. But then again, on the weekly, it's been going up, and it's coming to the highs. Can that be that doji reversal? Can that be the reversal? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, I see the price come and rejected that area there. made a pin bar, pushed it up. I think the market's going back up again. Market's going back up again. You know what, I'll actually hold back and see what it does. But if it is doing what I'm thinking is doing, bit of a risky one, but it might test that area and carry on going up. But if it comes down, we could look to buy around this area. I'm actually gonna wait for the break of that. If it breaks that low there, just to be on the safe side, because I don't like taking risk trades, but what I think might happen is retest and go up. But if it doesn't do that, I wouldn't get in when it just retested. I normally wait for the price to show me that it wants to go back up. But if it carries on going down, then I'll see buy price action around these areas, see if it wants to buy. If it doesn't show it to me and it breaks that, then it's a simple retest and sell. That's the sort of thing I'm going to look. I'm going to actually follow this market and see what it wants to do. But at the moment, because it's a downtrend, that pin bar rejection in a key level, but the previous uptrend, it's a bit of a risky one, this one. Let me see if I could just spot something that I just didn't spot yet in the weekly. If I get my fibs from that low to that high, no, it could come down towards the 61. It's quite messy, this chart, but it's showing a nice big bullish. It's not exactly a pin bar, but I think price could roll back up again. We just need to sit on the fence and actually watch what this market does. I wouldn't want to risk it. 4 hour one showing me it's going up. It's going up. Let's just sit back in the fence. Let's see what it does. If any of those setup come, pull back, price action, buy. If it breaks that, then we're looking for a buy, a more safer buy around this area. But if it breaks that, then we wait for a retest and sell. That's the sort of strategy that I'm doing for that. Moving on to crude oil now. Uptrend, pin bar. I don't follow pin bars for reversals on a trend. Monthly is not really showing me that it wants to stop. Weekly is definitely not showing me that it wants to stop. That's probably for a a pullback or a correction, whatever you call it. Because it's a strong, you know what, that could just pull back towards here. Let me just, makes a bit more sense. Around the 38. And make more sense here. Makes more sense from the bottom there. I would actually buy from around the 61. It's a more safer play. If it comes down, it could come down to around either this level here. I'll make a small trend line, probably around that area, and probably go back up. I'm going to keep an eye on that, but I'm definitely looking to buy around this area. That's a more safer area to buy in the higher time frames. My actual buy price action would be around this area. Let's see what it does around here, how it reacts. Because of that pin bar, it could kind of push it a bit more deeper. So we just have to wait and see. If it comes to this area and gives you another price action to buy, then we buy into that one as well. Okay, moving on to the gold. Gold, we see it going, it's an uptrend, it's heading towards around there. Let me just see exactly where. It's not really, it is quite a lot of move because it's a monthly chart, but I see some sort of, just to be on the safe side, I'll do it to the high of that. Okay, so what I'm looking for here, now we know we got that move at least towards there. A more safer buy would be, if you actually sit back and wait for price to drop back down slowly. A safer buy would be around here. If you're a bit more aggressive, wait for that to go up. Let me just draw that out for you. We'll do 1 or 2 more charts after this. I didn't want to make this video that long, but it looks like it might go a little bit more up. Probably turn around this area. We could look to buy from here as well. But if it gives a, you know, a deeper retracement towards there, because it's been going up for quite a while. I've seen the market do this before as well. Let's see what makes more sense from the bottom to that high. That was a 23 because of how aggressive that moved. Obviously that might not be the high, but if I'm looking, the market might just push up towards that area there. That area. Let me just see if that makes a bit more sense from the top to the bottom where the market's heading. 161 possibly could turn around from here. The 200 is there, so 177 and 1786 is around there. Yeah, I think what I'm waiting for here is, let me just cut that off. I'll just wait for a deeper retracement and buy from here. More aggressive traders in the smaller time frames, it could get a bounce from here as well, going back up as well. So let's see how it goes. If it touches the top, then the retracement doesn't really count unless it breaks the high of that, because I need to see the, actually, you know what, because if you look at the weekly or the monthly chart, if it breaks that, which you probably could, the way it's going, it started a uptrend around there. I think it could, it's a possible high. So what I would do is actually wait for a pullback anywhere around this area, or even see what price does around here, anywhere around here in the middle, and then buy from there, carrying the trend on. I wouldn't consider selling in the gold market. Okay, quickly moving on to the next S&P 500. Pin bar continuation. That line's there. Okay, depending on how high that goes, we're gonna buy around that area anyway. Let me just, that's your area for buy. Simple as that. It's a more safer buy, so we just wait for the price to retrace back to this area, then we look for a price action to buy back with the trend. It's a nice uptrend as well, so you don't want to go against the trend. Look at the China 50, same as that as well. See rejection break. Depending on how high it's gonna go, wait for it to pull back around this area to buy. That was a pin bar, so that's all the noise. I don't really look at that noise. That's all the noise. Just show the pullback correction, back up, back towards it with a safer buy. It's nearly been 40 minutes of the video as well, so I'm gonna actually stop here right now. But keep an eye on the charts, see what the market does. I'll give you an update throughout the week if it's something awesome or some sort of trend is changing. If the setup's gonna come in the next few days, or even next week, sometimes it could take more than a week, then you can. There's other charts that actually analyzed from last week's. We're still waiting for the similar setups. So if you haven't seen the last week video as well, you could check them out for the pairs that I didn't show today. Other than that, peace out. See you guys next week if the setup comes or not, or throughout the week, depending on what the market actually does. Okay, guys, if you actually benefit from this video, please do like it, share it, and put that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out the weekly setups that I do every Sunday nights, out for you Monday morning, ready to trade. So you guys take care. See you guys soon.